Dinesh, if there's one thing that we know about the left, it is that they relish in disingenuousness and dishonesty.
The other fact that they seem to suppress is the colonizing force of Islam, right? I mean, Islam begins in the Arabian desert. It begins really in Medina, where after Muhammad gets expelled from Mecca. But within a century or so, under the subsequent caliphs Umar and so on, the Muslims now take the Holy Land. They take places like Syria, Jordan, Jerusalem, all of which at that time was Christian country. Then Islamic armies push north into Europe. They push east into Asia. They conquer parts of India. They take all of North Africa. Ultimately, they're at the gates of Vienna. This is a massive Islamic colonial enterprise, and it was guided by something like 5 separate Islamic regimes, from the Abbasid to the Umayyad dynasties, later on the Ottomans, the Mamluk sultans in Egypt, the Mughals in India. All of this is very carefully set to the side because it removes the idea of the helpless Muslim sheep herder who is somehow being displaced by some sort of a marauding Jew.
Well, even Saudi Arabia, which has become a close U.S. ally, and the current government under Mohammed bin Salman is very different than the Saudi Arabia that produced the 9/11 hijackers, but even Saudi Arabia to this day has the sword in its flag. I mean, the sword is kind of inherent in Islam. It is a religion founded upon the sword. Anyone who's even vaguely familiar with Muhammad, let alone the broader history that you just quite articulately laid out there, anyone who has any familiarity with Islam could tell you that this is a religion that is not necessarily at its core oriented towards peace. It definitely can be. There are obviously any number of peaceful Muslims, but it is not a religion that is inherently oriented toward peace like various other religions of the world are. I mean, how about the Crusades? I mean, how we just totally forgot about the Crusades 1,000 years ago? How about as Americans, how about the First and Second Barbary Wars? After America achieved independence from Britain prior to the War of 1812, essentially the rematch with the British, we fought 2 separate wars against the nomadic Barbary pirates off the coast of Tripoli and Algeria and Libya. I mean, how about the U.S. Marines fighting him to this day, you know, to the shores of Tripoli? That is a reference to the Barbary Wars. Heck, that's actually really why Thomas Jefferson expanded the United States Navy, was in order to fight these radical Muslim pirates that were wreaking havoc upon American sailors at sea there. So Islam has been, in one form or another, at a broader state of war with the West for a very, very long time. One could argue, frankly, since its incipient, since its origins there, the Jewish state of Israel, and in many ways the Jewish people, or frankly those who the assassins even think are the Jewish people, like Yaron and Sarah last week, they are merely the tips of the spear of this broader civilizational assault.